we got an album that's been requested to talk about. Homie's been on my YouTube. He's been on my head. Yeah, we got this guy Lucky on our YouTube page that's been like on my head about reviewing the Dave East Karma 3 album. So here we are reviewing Dave East Karma 3. Trent, I'm gonna pass it to you. What do you think?
Bro,
Take
I
it
don't-
away, buddy. He was way more excited to review this than I was. I'm kidding. I'm way more excited to review this than he is. But
I just don't remember. I listened to it front to back like less than 13 hours ago, and I just don't remember a thing about it.
I remember a few things.
Actually, I remember I like the what song was that? I think it was the Trouble song. Get the Money. Maybe that one's
I
alright.
do like Trouble. So I always like a Trouble feature. You want me to play that? Let's see.
I think I like this one.
Let's get like halfway through. That's a nice beat. I've heard that kind of.
Yeah, it sounds like some Young Jeezy shit.
Yeah, I've even heard. I don't know, like Joey Purp kind of kill a beat like this. And here's what I wanted to do too. I want to give some suggestions. We don't have to do this right this second because I don't have them like right at the top of my head. But Joey Purp is one of them. But let's get into Karma 3 specifically. I wanted to say afterwards, if you have anything, Trent, that comes to your mind that could be interesting to someone who likes this, but it's a little bit more it's the more Bridge City boy way, you know what I'm saying? If something like that comes up, we'll talk about it at the end of this review. But why does Dave East's voice sound like that? It's kind of Kermity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Patrick Mahomes. That shit.
Yeah, like, and I know he'll beat me up. I know he'll shoot me, probably, or like, you know, someone around him would shoot me. I'm not playing with him. Understand, 100%. Some people who really, you know, you should be afraid of have funny voices that you shouldn't laugh at. So I'm not gonna go as far as to imitate Dave East's voice right now, but it's funny. I could do it. I think I practiced it a little bit before I got on here, but I think I'm not gonna go there. So that's one of the first things for an artist for me that like I think can throw me off is if they're or catch my ear, right? An artist has a voice that you haven't really heard elsewhere and you like it. That's an easy way to get you to start liking a rapper, even if they're not like the best beat chooser or they're not even the best rapper. Sometimes they just have a cool voice and they use it in a cool way.
Well, I think it's funny you say that because I think a really good example of both of those, like either liking someone because of their voice or being thrown off because of their voice, is West Side Gun. Because I try to put people on West Side, and like if they don't like West Side right away, usually the first thing they say is like his voice is so annoying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's what the best part about him. Like
Yeah. So, but is that the thing with Dave East? I don't know. I'm not really familiar with the guy's music, so I am on the other side of that barrier. Currency is another rapper who his voice is kind of an acquired taste. I won't say it's quite like West Side Gun, where West Side Gun is just kind of more in your face about using his voice, and Currency just kind of has an interesting voice, but it isn't an acquired taste. I think he uses beats that are similar to these. I think he would work with similar producers or even producers that are on this album, but he has a way more relaxed, obviously smoked out, and kind of theatric turn to his instrumentals, to his songs. And primarily, I did like some other features on here, like I like the Young Dolph feature, as well as them using the 3/6 flip on this song. Of course, I really enjoyed hearing Benny the Butcher on this project. Did you get as far as Mary J. Blige?
I got through the whole thing. That's like it's like the second to last song or something.
Yeah. He gets a verse from Mary J.
Mary J is very good at. Mary J
Hip
is a
hop.
very New York personality that like can just work well with anybody from New York. I feel like. Like I feel like her sound, the way that the like kind of energy she brings is just so like indicative of like just New York R&B, pop, and hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's like a very underrated cultural icon for that East Coast.
I enjoyed like some of these later tracks on the album, like Believe It or Not, like we mentioned Benny the Butcher, Mary J. Blige, and Fuck That, Young Jeezy, all coming in towards the end. I feel like the first half of this album is the weaker part. I didn't particularly care for the Pop Can or the Trey Songs. The Trey Songs was cool, actually, because that was the heart of the city flip.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the tough thing for me when an album, and I think we're going to talk about this more, but maybe I think we'll talk about this more maybe with the Reason album is I hate when an album by an artist feels a little bit carried by the moments when either they do a sample flip that's recognizable or they have a guest feature or they have like when that kind of strengthens the moment, and those are clearly the best, strongest moments, and there's a little bit of fall off in the deep cuts or the tracks that are just you and you by yourself. That's I think why Trent is calling this sort of forgettable, because if it wasn't for that or maybe even the Trouble, hook or the Doll for Benny or Mary J. Blige features, we'd have significantly less to talk about with this project. And here's something I wanted to point out too, and also we're getting primed for this Reason conversation. I like this actually. Is we probably need to start rating albums more, even specifically, like even more like disclaim the fact that I think when it comes to songs and whether or not you like most of the album or not, if we have an artist that's kind of putting out a project, a Karma 3, a Reason album, there's thought, there's supposed to be messages put into it. I want to start really rating the album experience, because songs come and go. Albums I like a lot, I don't listen to a lot, but and then there are, just some things that are, I don't think they're the greatest in the world, but I listen to them a ton. And so with this particular album, it doesn't feel like something I would come back to listen to the entire album. I would come back and maybe pick out one of these tracks that we enjoyed. But in terms of varying the songs, kind of bringing something new with every song without, like, just within Dave East is not something I felt through this project. Now, to be fair, we weren't really, like, Dave East fans to begin with. I imagine if you like Dave East already, that this kind of just, like, keeps going in the direction of things that you like about Dave East. I don't see this being too different or any worse than any Dave East projects I've heard in the past. So, again, if you're a fan, I feel like you probably really enjoy this. Like, there's a couple flares thrown in there, but that's mostly on some of the features and some of the little flips. But who cares? Those things are on there.
Right.
And they're pretty nice. They sound good. They enhance the album. So if I was assessing Dave East, I don't give him an incredible amount of credit for an incredible album. As far as just the music goes, like if I heard it somewhere else from somebody else I didn't know, I would be decently impressed. It's not bad. It's just not that exciting.